When I arrived at Central Synagogue 19 years ago, Rabbi Peter Rubinstein, then senior rabbi, had already been attempting to create a conversion center for all of New York City. He approached other synagogues to join him in this collaboration, but they didn't respond. So he finally decided, we're just going to start it here. 15 years ago, he made the very important and excellent hire of Rabbi Lisa Rubin to teach its first class with just 5 students. What Rabbi Lisa Rubin grew was more than just a class. It was a holistic immersion experience that not only taught engaging Jewish content with intellectual rigor, but included spiritual direction, Jewish culture, Shabbat dinners, services, and genuine community. There was nothing else quite like it. She had created a center for exploring Judaism, or as we affectionately call it, CJ. Word of mouth spread, and within a year, CJ classes were full. So she doubled the number she offered, and those also filled up. And over the years, she had to start hiring other wonderful rabbis to the CJ team. Rabbis April Davis, Darcy Crystal, and most recently, Sivan Rotholz. When the pandemic hit and classes had to go to Zoom, CJ started getting students from all over the world, many of whom found us through live streaming. Since 2020, we have students from 27 different countries who have learned by Zoom on CJ and then flown to New York for their conversions. We have someone here from Barcelona tonight. Now, over the last 15 years, Rabbi Rubin has grown Central's Center for Exploring Judaism into the largest synagogue-based welcoming program in the country. With over 2,000 students since it began, the vast majority of whom were not even Central members. But this community, and I want to thank the Central community, has invested in the next generation of Jewish families. CJ has overseen the conversion of 636 Jews by choice, ranging in age from 8 days old to 81 years old. It is astounding when you think about the exponential impact of every one. It's not just one new Jew in the world. They grow Jewish families. They renew the Jewish interest of their partner. They do Hebrew school pickup. They make seders. They lead our congregations. Central Synagogue and the wider Jewish community is immensely enriched by all the students who have come through our CJ program. Rabbi Rubin now teaches future clergy at HUC and JTS and AJR seminaries how to do this work, sharing the best practices that she has created here. She has been the visionary force for what is a truly doors thrown open Jewish exploration, and saying this is what this could be, growing CJ from that one small class into a welcoming revolution. Rabbi Rubin, you have changed the face of Jewish outreach. And I know that as a granddaughter of Holocaust survivors, you see this as one of the primary ways you honor their legacy. In addition to helping make hundreds of new Jews over the last 15 years, she and her husband Howie also made 3 of their own. Yeah. Harrison, Evelyn, my Girl Scout cookie supplier, and JJ, all of whom were named on this bima. Lisa balances being an incredible mother and wife and directing this program and teaching and preaching, and through it all, her hair always looks perfect. We celebrate you, Rabbi Lisa Rubin, for 15 years, and thank you for building the Center for Exploring Judaism at Central. It is truly a jewel in our crown. It reflects the best of Judaism to a world of seekers who have been blessed to be touched by it. Thank you for all that you have done for us.
Oh, you're too funny. My heart is so full. Thank you. What a night. I think this is the largest group of Jews by choice that might exist anywhere. How wonderful to mark this milestone with so many of you who have chosen Judaism. This is obviously my most favorite Shabbat of the year, where we lift you up. Since I stood here last March, we have welcomed 134 new Jewish community members. 134 new Jews. We are all the honorees this evening. All of you are the heart of tonight. You are the very purpose for which the center was created. Simply put, there would be no role for me, no center for exploring Judaism without you. And you have chosen Judaism at a tender and vulnerable moment in our community. And so our gratitude for your courage and your conviction knows no bounds. You've chosen Judaism for your own beautiful reasons, and we have delighted in welcoming every one of you. We are strengthened by who you are and what you bring. Thank you also to your families for sharing you with us. All of us are overjoyed to welcome you and count you among many alumni, many Jews present this evening. As we discuss in our classes, the Torah never disappoints in its relevance and applicability to the current moment. Tonight, we enter the story at the end of the book of Exodus, where the Israelites are still building that first sanctuary in the wilderness. And the heart of that sanctuary will be an altar in the middle where sacrifices are offered to God. And we read tonight that Moses sets up this altar as he's commanded and immediately begins sacrificing. Only afterward does he call for the walls and curtains and structure to be built around it. Now, this confuses the commentators. Why would he set up the inside of the sanctuary, the heart, before building the structure around it? The 11th century famous Rabbi Rashi says, what? Is it the custom to furnish the house before we finish building it? But that is exactly how we built the Center for Exploring Judaism. As you heard, Rabbi Rubin agreed to sign a freelance contract for me. I came in 2010, no office, no budget, no staff, not even a phone. But when anyone who wasn't Jewish called the synagogue, I would use someone else's phone, return the call, and invite them to our center. And soon enough, we had the heart. 5 students who wanted to study Judaism. I saw Freddie from that cohort here tonight. And you continue to be the heart. Like Moses, perhaps we intuited that if the heart was in place, the structure might inevitably follow. And to this day, you are the heart. To build around you, in response to you, because of you, has been the greatest joy of my career. Your narratives have been the soundtrack of my professional life for 15 years. Reflecting back, as anniversaries prompt us to do, I see why this was my destined path. The work of welcoming and inclusivity have always been a part of who I am. See, I was raised in Sandy Springs, Georgia, and no one does hospitality like American Southerners. When a new family moved to our neighborhood, my mom would send me over with homemade brownies, and inevitably I'd be invited inside to hear the story of the newcomers. I've always been a story collector. And to this day, I have my eye on who might be new in the room with a story to share. And I've always known my own story. In 20th century Austria and Poland, my grandparents miraculously and barely escaped the Nazis. And so Judaism almost didn't make it to my generation. And so I harbor a very healthy enthusiasm for Jewish continuity and guaranteeing a Jewish future. Further, one of the profound aspects of Jewish study is that it allows us to time travel. By inserting myself into ancient debates and conversations, I learned that I am actually one in a very long line of rabbis who see openness as part of Judaism's core mission. These rabbis who came before me believed that the content of Judaism could edify the lives of anyone, and the borders of our community should never be fixed. I found a home in their ideology, and I see myself as taking the baton that has been passed through the millennia to me. I dreamt of being a teacher since I was a little girl, and when I became a rabbi, the time for this project was right. At that time, the intermarriage rate was 60%. What an opportunity to welcome all those newcomers. And there was no institution in New York City doing this work of welcoming in the way I felt it could be done. And I saw this gap in the marketplace as an invitation. Nothing at Central Synagogue happens in a vacuum. All of our successes are shared successes. I have enormous gratitude then for the leadership and supporters of Central Synagogue. The lay leaders, our board, fellow clergy, the teachers of the center, our amazing leadership in administration, really everyone here, year after year, supported my vision, trusted my leadership, and helped me shape every aspect of this center. My longevity here is a testament to all of you and your guiding hands. I know about myself, I needed plenty of autonomy and entrepreneurial space, and you gave it to me, and here we are, 15 years later, changing the landscape of liberal Judaism together. Thank you to my team at Central. I also need to thank my wonderful family, my husband and children, for their patience with my career. I know that it is not always easy. And I am really lucky to have the parents that I do. My mom sitting here, my father live streaming from Sandy Springs. You raised me to love books and learning. You sent me to Jewish summer camp. You allowed me to go abroad in high school to study in Israel. You both modeled kindness and service to others, and you were my first teachers. It's wonderful as an adult to share my professional life with you. For everyone here, thank you for letting me be a part of this glorious community. I hope that we will always feel inspired by each other's stories, and that as a family, we will go from strength to strength. Thank you.